Hey Lisa, good to see you.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. So we're getting close to the end of the book.
Oh, well, the first draft anyway.
Yes, yes, very exciting.
It is very exciting. We have um about 30,000 words after it's going to be about I reckon it's going to be about 31,000 words by the end of the first draft, and then um I've submitted 3 pages to my partner Peter, who's an INFP, and he's written 31 or 32 books, something like that.
Wow.
And so he's gonna have a look at the I asked him to look at like our personal sharings, like what I'm sharing about our personal life, because we are very
Hmm.
private.
Right,
Um,
yep.
I'll also I'll also ask him to look at the structures of transitions and in terms of the um, paragraphs and sentences, because you and I have been doing a lot of work. We kind of know what we're talking about, you and I, whereas
Right,
he's going to have a whole different, like a new um, new eyes, fresh eyes, so to speak, so that if something doesn't make sense, it's good that he's pointing it out, and if there's
right. That
that.
makes sense.
So yeah, so he's going to look at those 3 pages, give me feedback on that, and then check with me if the feedback that he's given is actually what is valuable for us, and then he's going to go through the whole book
Okay,
for
that
us,
sounds
which is
great.
very good of him. Yeah.
Yeah,
So super excited about that. But yeah, it's getting the like I've written many courses, as you know. I
yeah.
can't even tell you. I think I've written like 12 courses or something
Wow.
like that. And and it's the final countdown. No, it's the final it's the final piece of bringing it all together, because now, as you know, I'm working on chapter 10, which is the final chapter, as far as we are now with this working in this working space.
Hmm.
But it's so important that it all comes together, and if there's an element missing, of course we can fix that with editing and stuff, but if there's an element missing from the structural perspective, it it would be good to get it done now, so we wouldn't have to make many edits. So
Right. Definitely.
but I'm starting to get excited about this, and I know like the publishers have been at me for 5 years. I literally got this contract like 2017 or something.
Oh, wow.
So it's 2022 now. And I mean, yeah, I've had brain injuries, and we've had the
Busy, very,
fires
very
and the
busy.
deaths and the floods and
Yeah,
so fair enough, but it's time for this book.
yes, for sure. And it's going to be great. Or it is great.
Yeah. Can I
Yeah.
ask you, Lisa, what's your process been like so far? I'm curious because I've asked for your feedback on the material, but I haven't really asked about kind of how has this been for you?
I just go in and wherever you were, sorry, whatever you've written most recently, I just go through it and just make sure it flows and make any edits on misspellings or punctuation. But I've really enjoyed it, and I really enjoy reading the book. It's very it goes by quickly. I always feel like I've only been working on it for a couple minutes, and like it'll be 4 hours is flown by. So it's been
Well,
enjoyable.
that's good. That's a
Yeah.
good sign. And of course, you're writing this book with me because you write for other people.
Right.
So it's not, even though like I've had a lot of practice in writing with courses and so on. So this is probably a little bit easier. I'm thinking a little bit easier for you than, let's just say, somebody who's writing a book for the first time, or they're writing a document for the first time, and then you have to guide them around a little bit more. Um,
Yes, definitely.
what would you say has been the most challenging thing about, working with an author to help them bring their vision into reality?
Initially, just we were, had a little, it was a little challenging to figure out how we were going to communicate and know, just getting the process together. But ever since then, there hasn't, it's gone very smoothly.
Yeah, awesome. I think like the communication piece is so important, and of course, those of you who know me and you know this, Lisa, like I have a team behind me that I'm very privileged to work with. I mean, you're part of that team as well in this writing
Thank you.
capacity, and if we don't communicate with each other clearly, we can create a lot of problems, right?
Right. Yep.
That don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what a great takeaway. Cool. Well, thank you very much for taking this time to talk with me today. This
Yeah.
morning for me, it's afternoon for you. And we'll keep cracking. And hopefully we'll have some
Absolutely.
other news soon. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.